Okay, so good morning, everyone. So I hope you're doing great.
Good
So
morning, sir.
turn on your video. It's good to see your lovely face in the last class of this semester and this course. Uh, okay, so the time flies, right? We started the semester a few months back. We had hopefully the interesting memories, uh, probably some good learning experience. Is it? Okay, nice.
Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, so definitely, I mean, uh, at least we, all the TAs, all the instructor have really enjoyed teaching you guys. It was a great experience working with you, and that's how time flies. I mean, let's have this good memories with us, whatever the learning experience you guys have. Hopefully, this will help you in the future in different courses in your life and so on. And anyways, uh, let's get started. So we'll starting the quiz in 3 minutes. Meanwhile, I request everyone to please turn on your camera, and I'm not going to repeat again. I'm not going to this time. I'm not going to bother you guys again. I'm going to just penalize the student who is not going to turn on the video. Probably I can send a message as a warning, uh, but hopefully this time I do not need to. I mean, bother you guys. Please turn on your camera. And please check your message if I send you some message. Please check that.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, it's coming cannot start video.
No. So it's your problem. It's not my problem, right? So I have been repeatedly told you guys to please ensure that it is working. How come? I mean, just before the exam, it start not working. It's your problem. It's not my problem. Thanks. So still have 2 minutes. Fix it. So it's be fair to everyone. If everyone is turning on the video, I mean, let's be fair to everyone. I can see still a number of students haven't turned on the video. So it's a last warning. I'm not going to bother you guys. Hello. Yeah. Okay. So wonderful. Good to see the lovely faces. So before we start, I mean, the quiz will start in 2 minutes. So since it's the last class, I believe you might have be some emotional feeling or so. So let me show a small video in the same direction, and hopefully, okay, it's not for you. Okay, so let's get started.
No, 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 no.
So you can assume who you are. I mean, is it the bride or probably the family members? So anyways, I mean, I really enjoyed teaching you guys. I hope you have learned a lot. And anyways, we can get started from the quiz. The instructions are same as it is, and instructions are same as it is. You do have multi answer questions, and there is no negative marking. You have 30 minutes. Everything is same as it is. Please check Google Classroom. The quiz will appear there. And okay, so let me see if the quiz is there already or not. Okay, so it will schedule at 11 a.m. So probably it will take another minute or so. But yeah, so it will be there at the Google Classroom.
Sir, can you check if my video is on? I cannot see it.
So please, anything related with the videos, anything related, so please don't disturb the class. Just message me. I will respond back.
Okay, sir.
And anyways, I mean, yeah, I'm going to bother you guys during the exam. If you are not going to turn on your video, I will give you one warning at least before penalizing. I'm sure I really don't want to penalize any of you. So just make sure your video is on.
The quiz is still not there.
No, it will come. So I have realized that during the last quiz, probably the Google's calendar, Google's time is somehow 1 minute late or something. So it will come. Don't worry about that.
So will we get like 30 minutes from the time it is given or like till
The
11?
same time, right? Doesn't matter. It's synced with the Google's calendar, right? Google's time, right? So it will stop accordingly in 30 minutes. Like if it start at 11:02, it will stop at 11:32. Okay. And so please don't wait for the last minute. I can post the URL here as well, but usually that will create just, yeah, it's there. So please check Google Classroom. Now it is posted. So still a number of, so it's my last warning, still a number of students haven't turned on their video. I'm not going to disturb whole class again. I'm just going to write your name and penalize. So please turn on your video. That's last warning. You can start your quiz. Thanks. So two of our TAs, Asra and Dipti, are here. So if you have any questions, please just write in the chat box and they will respond to you. So everyone, last 10 minutes left. So please plan accordingly. So please don't wait for last minute. Please submit at least 1-2 minutes before. We are not going to give any extra time. Last 10 minutes, please submit your response before that.
सर आई थिंक 11:04 पे अपलोड हुआ था ये.
And 11:04 पे नहीं हुआ था, 11:02 पे हुआ था. So now 11:22, 10 minutes are left.
ओके सर.
Last 4 minutes, please submit your response if you're done. Please don't wait for last minute. Last 4 minutes. Yes, those who want to leave can leave the class after the quiz. So please, last 4 minutes. If you want to stay in the class, I mean, until the quiz is going on, please keep your video on, otherwise leave the class. Thanks. Last 4 minutes, please submit your response. Last 2 minutes, please submit your response. So we are going to stop accepting responses in 1 minute. Please submit your response.
Hello. Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes.
Sir, actually, I've submitted at 11:30, but it is still showing late.
No
Yes,
worries.
sir.
Leave that. Don't worry about
Okay,
that.
sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so we are going to stop accepting responses. We will not accept any response after that. Yes, there will be class after this. We will be having last class today. Okay, so everyone, I'm going to stop accepting response. Please don't blame to me if you don't submit your response. I'm going to stop accepting. Anyone here who haven't submitted response? Anyone? I still see at least 5-10 people haven't submitted. Anyone who have not submitted, we are going to stop accepting response.
So can you please confirm if
No,
my
no,
responses are submitted? Sir, actually I faced similar problem in mid-sem as well.
ठीक है, just chat, I mean message. हाँ,
I
just
message but no response.
So your roll number is
Can we
243, 423, right? One check.
283 sir.
सर 569 चेक करो
यार ऐसे हर एक का नहीं चेक कर सकते ना
सर because in my system one error is coming troubleshoot.
Yeah, Rishabh, I can see your response. Thanks. So I'm going to.
सर मैंने फोन
sir.
से कर दिया सर वो
कोई बात नहीं,
सिस्टम से
ऋषभ।
तो हो ही नहीं रहा था सर
हाँ, कोई बात नहीं. I see your
Excuse me,
response.
sir.
Yes. Is there anyone, last call, is there anyone who haven't submitted their response?
Sir, I have
Last
submitted
call?
my response, but like in the quiz, it's showing missing, no work attached. But in Google
Danis,
Form, it's
I can see your response. Thanks, Danis.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
I also
Sir?
maybe at the last, so can you check me?
Sir?
अरे यार ऐसे हर किसी का नहीं चेक कर सकते ना. If you guys submitted, then it will be submitted. And anyways, I mean, so TAs are here. Please, whoever has any doubt, please, I mean, they will help you. So please ask. In the chat. Please ask in the chat box. Thanks.
So I had to clear something out. That my video was on the whole time. You can even
Hey, यार
check
इस
the
तरह से
recording.
discuss नहीं कर सकते. Please ask everything in the chat.
Oh, all right, sir. I texted you on the chat, but you never replied, so that's why.
नहीं ठीक है, चलो okay. Okay, guys. So thanks for participating in the quiz. Okay, so we are going to have last class today, and after that, yeah. So toward the end of the course, you'll be completing your first course and probably the first semester in your college. I hope you are excited, whatever you have done and whatever the learning you had. Anyways, thanks. Okay, so let's get started. Okay. So we are going to talk about evaluation. So in the previous some of the slides, in the previous some of the tutorials, I mean the TAs have already covered this into some details. So today we are going to probably go into little bit more details, because evaluation is one of the most important part of any system you are building, any app you are building, or anything you are building, right? And in fact, we just had your evaluation, right? We just had your evaluation in terms of quiz. And why do we do so? Anyone? Why do we do evaluation? Anyone? Why we need to do evaluation?
Just to check our preparation for the
Check the
exam
preparation.
and see what we have learned.
Works as well as we wanted.
Right. So that is about the just to make sure that the course learning is there. Similarly, for the why do we need to do evaluation for any product?
To find out the flaw in design.
Exactly. To find out
And also to find out
validate,
the product is,
because often it is not only about the flaw, because probably the product that you build is perfect, right? But you need to validate that. So you just think in that way, just adding your confidence or probably getting the people's trust in the system. It's working well. It's working well in all scenarios and so on, right? So what is the goals we have? So explain the key concept and the terms used in the evaluation. Introduce the range of different types of evaluation. Sorry about that. So how different evaluation methods are used for different purposes, for different stages. So like what are the different stages you have? You start from conceptual modeling, then concrete modeling. You also build some kind of prototypes, right? And probably beta testing, and then finally you release the product. And even after the launching of the product, it will be using. So you need to do the evaluation in the different phases of the different stages of the product, right? In the whole design process that you have. So how evaluators are mixed and modified to meet the demand of evaluating novel system. Sometimes the system that you're building is clear enough, that is very straightforward to evaluate. For example, if it is about withdrawing the money, right? It's easy to evaluate, right? You enter the money, basically the ATM, enter the PIN, get the money, whatever the amount you have entered, you get this. So these are easy to evaluate. But can anybody tell me some novel system which are not that easy to evaluate?
Just like our Google system, like we have turned it on, but still we're not sure if the TAs really got the answers because of the connection losses and all. It may happen at times.
Okay, but at least you can verify and so, right?
Yeah, with you.
Yeah. So at least there is some evaluation. Using that you can basically verify. So I mean, novel system like how intelligent the person is, right? So often you don't have any such definition for that, right? I mean, like how intelligent you are, how intelligent I am, right? It's very difficult to justify that, and it's very difficult to evaluate such system as well. So that's what I mean. I mean, many times you have novel system, you need probably better ways to basically consider. If it is the evaluation is not straightforward, you need to probably think of other ways how you can evaluate the system. So we'll discuss about some of the practical challenges which arrives during the evaluation. We will discuss some of the case studies, and finally basically we provide an overview of the methods that discuss in the next 2 chapters. So though we're not able to complete next 2 chapters due to lack of time, but this chapter itself will give you enough background about it, so that because all these 3 chapters about evaluation, at least you will get some enough background. What evaluation is, why do you need to do evaluation, and what are the benefits of evaluation.
So then in NSEM till chapter 16 will be coming.
No, if we will not covering, then we will not be asking. So don't worry about that.
So only till 14 it will come.
नहीं, अभी हो सकता है 15 भी खत्म कर दें, हो सकता है 16 भी खत्म कर दें. So whatever we will finish today, that will be the part of it. So anything which is not.
Sir.
Yes.
या सर एक लिटिल डाउट है कि सर जो हमने अभी क्विज दी है उसके अंदर हमने नॉर्मली सबमिट कर दिया और उसके अंदर हमारा एक मैसेज आया था ओपन असाइनमेंट. तो इज इट नेसेसरी टू क्लिक द ओपन असाइनमेंट?
नहीं, जरूरी नहीं है,
क्योंकि सर सबमिट कर दिया पर मेरा गूगल क्लासरूम पे मिसिंग दिखा रहा है. तो
नहीं, we found your response, no? It's okay. So I believe T has confirmed that, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so regarding how much is the syllabus, so it depends on how much we are able to cover. I'm hoping that we will be able to complete chapter 14 and 15 today, because both chapters are not long, and definitely chapter 16 we are not able to complete. It should be okay. It's really related to chapters. That's only for the knowledge you can think of. For the sake of exam, we won't be asking any question from there. Yeah, so the question is about evaluation. So when you talk about evaluation, you need to discuss why you need to do evaluation, what you need to evaluate, where you need to do evaluation, and finally when you need to do evaluation, right? So why I believe it's very clear, as many of you we have discussed. So to check user's requirement and confirm that user can utilize the product the way it is defined and they like it, right? So that's why you need to do the evaluation, so that you can validate, you can justify, okay, so the product that you have built is working as expected. What you need to evaluate, as we mentioned, there are different stages of the product. There are stages that you need to evaluate. You need to do evaluation in every stage. You start from conceptual modeling, then we go for conceptual, the concrete modeling, and so on. So you are building early and subsequent prototypes of the new system, more complete prototypes, and accordingly, whatever the different iteration you are going to have, you are going to evaluate everything. And these evaluation will keep giving you basically the feedback, keep giving you probably the whatever the bugs or the errors are there. Is there any challenges which probably you need to fix in the next version of this product? So these evaluation, that's why I require in every phases, every stages of the product. Where again, so it can be evaluated at different places. What will be the best place where you need to do evaluation? Anyone?
Sir, when you make an assumption, for example, in your designing or prototyping, you have made an assumption. Now you need to evaluate that assumption before implementing it in the final design, because you might be wrong about it.
So ideally, whatever the product or system that you have built, it should be evaluated at the place where it is going to be used, right? So for example, if you are going to build a kind of say for example digital platform where the classes can happen, exam can happen, right? So what is the ideal place for this? Ideally a real classroom where a real student basically participating in the exam, doing all the means of learning, cheating, whatever, and your system should be able to handle everything, be it cheating, be it like a fair exam, be it like providing information, be it like giving the confirmation as you mentioned, like and despite you submitted the response, it says, I mean, it's missing, right? So all those. And secondly, another example, can you give me, so for example, Bhagesh, what would be the, where you should evaluate your project in real, in basically ideal
I just
situation,
missed the first part of the question. Can you please repeat?
where you should, you are doing project on blind, right? I'm
Yes.
saying, so where basically your system should be evaluated in real time, not real time, in ideal situation.
Like if I'm building for a commuting of the visually impaired people, so I'll first of all go to a place where, like for example, a blind home, and I'll help people or give my device to people who commute on a daily basis, that too in a public transport. Because if they are using a special buses or the services that are made for them, then my product is not built for that domain. So I'll target those people who travel on their own, and travel for a long duration and require comfort, because that's where my product is targeted. And
Right.
yeah.
So in a way you can say in the evaluation, so it is also about who are the people who are going to participate in the evaluation, right? For example, ideally it should be in natural condition, it should be in the wild, like we are free to go, I mean, probably so ideally, I mean, you can say that, okay, so now using our system you can go anywhere, right? You can commute anywhere. Ideally this is the scene, right? But often, I mean, it is too probably I mean idealistic, right? Your system probably is not able to work in that unrestricted constraint. So that's why probably often while evaluation you need to probably consider the laboratory setting or some kind of you can say the setting which is compromised in a way. So for example, if the person is ideally the person has to use your app and probably go to metro, then bus, probably then home, then probably the Lal Killa, whatever. Ideally, I mean, in laboratory setting, you won't be asking the person to probably follow all those. You may probably set up, you do some laboratory settings. So for example, you'll set up one room as say Rajiv Chowk, another room as say Lal Killa, right? So the person now have to probably walk. Similarly, you can think of okay, so if the person have to board the train, so how about taking the stairs or what escalator, whatever you have, and accordingly use. So it's more about very important to ask where you are going to evaluate, and finally when to evaluate. So throughout the decision, finished product can be evaluated, because every time you'll get some response, and accordingly these will also help you in coming up with a new product in the future. So in a way, why, what, where, and when are the important topics, or you can say the important terms when you are going to do evaluation. So how the Bruce define it, why you need to do evaluation. Iterative design, with its repetitive cycle of design and testing, is the only validated methodology in existence that will consistently produce successful results, right? Based on whatever the result they are saying. I mean, if you want to have a successful result, then you will have to do the repeated cycle of designing, testing, and validating everything is working as expected or not. If you don't have user testing as an integral part of your decision, the integral part of your design process, you are going to throw bucket of money down the drain. So it's kind of going to waste it, because the actual stakeholder, actual target user haven't tested it. They don't know how it is going to work, whether it is meeting their expectation or not, and accordingly it is going to fail or success. So what are all type of evaluation that you can have? So you can, as we have discussed, it could be in the natural setting. So where in the natural setting there are users who are basically coming and doing. So often there, since it's in natural settings, so often there is no or probably a very little control over what user do, especially in the kind of in the wild setting. So they are free to do anything, they can do anything, with the thing and probably use your app. Other thing would be a kind of control setting. So in case of control setting, you control the environment, probably you control the user. So example of the commuter I given in the last slide. So where basically you can control in such a way. Okay, so you have to only test in the building. You have to only test within the room. You have to test only using these limited moves and so on. Right. So when it means, I mean, sometimes you have such a restricted environment, and you can call it like living lab. So basically, living lab.
Sir, what was in the wild setting?
In the wild setting, we should just think as like it's a random. I mean, you are free to do anything. So it's just a phrase which is popularly known for in the real world how things work. Right. So let me get the exact meaning actually. So it's more as I was saying, right? It's live in free or probably natural state and probably something like that. It's a kind of, just think it like it's a free world. You are free to do anything. There is no restriction. No one is going to bother you and so on. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So living lab is about like how the basically people use technology in their everyday lives, and it can be evaluated accordingly. Like in the living labs, in a sense, you are setting up lab, which is kind of very similar to the probably the people live, right? So such evaluations are too difficult to do in the, you can say, usability lab, often because it's very constrained and probably it is not possible due to probably the distance. It probably a lot of sensors that you have to consider and so on. Yeah, Bhagesh.
So living lab, like it means that we are not able to test it on our own, so we need to give the product that we developed to the user, who will use it in the settings that we designed it to use, like everyday setting.
You can think more is like, as I said, you are trying to simulate exactly the way probably the people live, and you are going to test that in the probably in your lab, which is look very similar to the you can say in the wild setting.
Outdoor testing can be an example of this.
Outdoor testing is more like in the wild. I mean, it can be, it's very unrestricted, but often when you don't have a, so sorry, yeah. So Bhagesh, to answer your question, yeah. So often it is not possible to test out everything if you go in the probably the go outside and probably test it, right? So if you're able to do so, that's great, right? So living lab is more, I mean, we are highlighting that if everything you cannot achieve in probably real setting, how about we can set up that in form of lab and test it.
So sir, for example, if we have to develop 5 things in order to achieve efficient development of the product, but we are not able to get to that point where we have developed all 5. So in our lab setting, what we will do is we will remove the constraints, the factors that will not affect the working of the other 4, because we have not developed the 5th one, right? So we can remove that part, like we can restrict that we will be
So
testing.
just think in that way, right? So suppose if 4 of them are available and probably 5th is not, right? But in order to test the system, you need all 5. How you're going to accomplish?
So I'll put a restriction that I'll not test for the 5, or it will not need to test for the 5.
No, it depends on the problem as well, right? Suppose your system or probably the overall functionality won't be complete until all 5 are there, right? So if this is the case, I mean, in that case, you need to simulate something, right? So let me show you the example. I believe that will be more clear then. So an early example of aware home is a kind of something they have built to it that was embedded with a kind of complex network of sensors, audio, video recording devices, and so on. So let me show you. So basically, the researchers from Georgia Tech, they have proposed aware home and how the people get connected.
Flextronics is really starting to drive creating new products and technologies. When we engaged with the Georgia Tech Aware Home, we were developing a new gateway device that has multiple type of RF frequency radios. And because of that, we wanted to come and put it into a real world home environment, developing and testing our hub products.
It allowed Flextronics that opportunity to see how all of their technology would work within a real home. And what we were able to do was provide students to help them in testing this technology in different locations around the home, adding and removing some of the nodes or devices to make sure that it worked, and then documenting anywhere that it failed so that they could fix those problems. So this is our app for controlling the home, and currently we have installed in the bedroom actually a window air conditioner, several blinds, about 5 automated blinds in the living room and kitchen area, cameras around the home, garage door opener down in the basement, lights controllable through both smart switches and IP-based bulbs, and smart water heater down in the basement.
It's a very different testing and development environment than in a lab, only surrounded by concrete or with lab equipment. So coming here, we were really able to find new corner cases and new use cases and really be able to get some real confidence of the performance of the products that we're developing and products that we had to be interoperable with. Looking forward, we really think that there's a lot more work that can be done, and we can really leverage the students and the faculty at Georgia Tech to help us find these new places where we can provide more value to the customers and maybe find new business models and business sectors to help grow our business.
Okay, so that is about. So that is about the.
This is like,
just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Okay, so sorry, sir, I had a visitor. Anyways, yeah, please. Who had any question?
Sir, so this is like something in between the wild testing. I mean, testing in the wild and something testing under controlled conditions like those in labs.
Exactly.
So this is just an intermediate, right?
Exactly. That's what I said. I mean, if you're not able to achieve everything, at least how close we can reach how close we can reach to the level of probably the in the real time uses, something like that. Okay.
Okay.
So the more recent example include like whole blocks and probably the cities that house probably hundreds of people. So in that case, so you can refer to this paper, Verma and ETL. So similarly, many citizen sciences project can also be thought of as a living labs. For instance, you can refer to this. So here the idea is how we can illustrate how the concept of a lab is changing to include other spaces where probably the people use the technology can be studied in realistic environment, right? And so the idea is how much realistic you can make it, right? So for example, even though you can think of mix of it, right? So where basically you can include some home setting, some real setting, and probably a part of it which make it complete to make the, so like in this case you can see, so here basically you are involving probably the real whole blocks and probably the cities and probably the house member in overall evaluation that you're doing. So evaluation case studies, so classical experimental investigation into physiological responses of a player. So for example, you are playing game, right? So in case you are playing game, so which one, how much, ideally how it should work? Ideally it should give the same fun experience. Ideally it should give the same probably learning, not learning, I mean the fun experience when a person is playing with another person, right? In that case, that would be the great thing you want to achieve when a person is playing with the computer, right? So that is something but if you do the research, if you based on the research, you'll see the human physiological responses changes when probably during the game, if some exciting things came. For example, if you are playing a football game, in that case, if the person scored a goal, in that case, you see the physiological responses will change very significantly as compared to the computer. And similarly, an ethnographic study of visitor at the kind of Royal Highlands, so it's more like you can say a kind of fair or something where the participants go and probably see what are the things they have seen, have they buyed it, have they not buyed it, and accordingly. So based on that, you can think of the evaluation accordingly. So these days, I mean, you see a lot of crowdsourcing as well for the evaluation. So are you aware of any crowdsourcing platform through which you can do the evaluation? Anyone? Evaluation or probably the annotation? So over the time, in probably definitely AMT, it's basically the Association for Manufacturing Technology. No, is it? No. So Amazon Mechanical Turk, basically kind of a crowdsourcing platform where you can see like access a global on-demand 24/7 workforce. So basically what you do, the people register here. So there are two kind of people. So one of the people who put some task here. So that task for annotation, that task for survey, that task for you can say the doing some kind of evaluation of your system. And there are other type of people who will registered as a, you can say the annotator, or you can say the client. So what they do basically, they register themselves with this website. So whenever a new task come, it will be appeared on the dashboard, and the person basically can select these tasks and probably get paid for that. So it's kind of providing a crowdsourcing platform where a person can put their task and probably the other person can get their task, work on it, and probably get paid for that. So AMT or probably very similar system you will encounter in your subsequent studies at IIIT Delhi or probably at other organizations that will be working later on. So challenges and engagement in kind of collaborative immersive game. So for example, we were giving the example of physiological measure where you are going to measure whether the person is having fun or not, whether enjoying the game or not. So as we said earlier, so players were more engaged when they're playing with against another person rather than playing with a game, basically a computer. So why the physiological data collected normalized? So basically that will help you in determining whether the person is, I mean, you can also compare the different type of people, I mean the different type of user that you're using. So this is the example of physiological data and participants in a video game. So if you see the physiological signals here, so suppose this is the computer, right? So for computer, the physiological signal will be the remain same, right? It is not going to change over the time. But for the human, when the person is playing, when a goal happens, you see the physiological changes. Like in this case, it's a participant's skin response when scoring a goal against a friend. I mean, or probably the other participant. It basically go very high and then go down, right? Same in case of another fight sequence game where the computer's physiological signal will be the same. But for human, when the fight begins, then end, and then probably the friend, it's kind of changes over the time, right? So what these physiological signal will help you in it. So how you can interpret these signals? How do you interpret these peak to determine whether for example, let's take a game example of game. You have built a computer game, right? How you are going to use this signal to evaluate whether the game you have built is good or not, whether it's going to make a profit or not. Anyone?
Sir, I think if a higher skin response would show signs that it is a more immersive game and a user is more like feeling that it is an actual game, it's actually happening and not just a computer simulation. So I think companies would aim for a higher skin response so as to simulate real world situations better.
Right, and it will basically also help you to determine, because when you have a game, so in the game there is different sequence, right? There are different things are happening. For some part of the game, you see a high skin response, but for some part of it, it's not that much. In that case, you will have, based on these feedback, I mean, okay, so probably this is the part where probably we need to improve on. Can we add something here? Can we make it more interesting so that, I mean, probably the skin response will also shoot up here, or probably it is high here, right? So these kind of feedback will also help you in improving your system, and that's how the evaluation help you in the long run in the success of your product. So evaluation also help you to fix the bugs in your system, because often you see, I mean, while evaluation, the people find, okay, so it is not working as expected. So these are the feedback which help you in improving your system, fixing the bugs, and probably even proposing a new feature, feature to the system. So this is the example we were giving for Royal Highland show. So basically the person is going to the show, and accordingly after the thing, the screen shows five of the experience button, which needs to be selected. So for example, you are asking, okay, so you tried something, you didn't try something, you experienced something, you learned something, you enjoyed, you bought, whatever. So based on that, you see, I mean, so what the most of the people are doing. So like, are there the people who are learning? I mean, are you, because our aim is probably to not just learning, but if we also want to increase this buyership, so that if the people buy more, you'll make more money. I mean, accordingly, these can give you the feedback, because there are a number of people as well who didn't like something. In that case, you want to reduce this thing, so that probably you can further probe and probably find out what are the things they didn't like. And in that case, you can probably perform some survey, you can perform probably some interviews. You can basically look at how they are using system, and accordingly you can improve the system. So what did we learn from these case studies? So how to observe user in the lab and in the natural setting, how evaluators accept different levels of control in the lab and probably the natural setting, and in the crowdsourcing evaluation studies, and use of different evaluation methods. So we were giving the example of, for crowdsourcing, we were giving the example of Mechanical Turk. So you see how the large number of people are recruited, using it, and helping you to evaluate your system. So similarly, you can think of, so how to develop different data collection and the analysis techniques to evaluate user experience goals such as challenge and the engagement. Because if it is a game, right? If it is a game, then you want to challenge the user, and also probably definitely the engagement is there that you want to improve. If it is a kind of probably the daily use app or something, in that case you don't want to challenge, you just make the user's life easy through your system. So all these evaluation through the case study, you need to determine, okay, so what part you need to evaluate and how you can evaluate and accordingly. So these are the example of different evaluation. So you have control settings, you have the natural setting, and sometimes without the user. So in case of observing method, so yeah, so you simply have to observe in the probably the control and natural setting to see how the person is responding using your system. And based on this observation, it's kind of you are evaluating, because suppose you are observing and see, okay, so the person struggled a lot when they are switching from one page to another, when they are probably switching probably from one game to probably when they are probably changing the probably some setting in that. So based on those observation, you can do so. Similarly, asking user, right? So in the not just observing, but you can also ask users. Since the users are involved in the these two settings, you can ask them. Asking expert, right? Since you are asking expert, so expert basically can also tell their feedback even though there is no user is there. So different also in the natural setting, they can also see, okay, so these are the user, and they can ask them, they can basically give their feedback on that. Similarly in the testing, since it is control setting, it is easier to do the testing. Why it is not that easy, why it is not that easy to test the system in the natural and without user setting? Anyone? Why it is not easy to test your system in natural and without user setting here?
So
Any guess?
because we can't recreate those conditions in the exact manner, and
Very nice.
We don't know the difficulty or the things that will be going through the user's mind, because when you are involved in the design team, you always know, like, I have to use it like this. But for a user who is using the product for the first time, things might get complicated. Even you have designed something like in a very professional manner, but it is not apparent to the user, then also it is difficult, so you will not be able to catch it.
Exactly. Like in the natural setting, you don't have any control, right? It's like in the wild. So since the people are user free, you don't know, I mean, how to evaluate. So that is the issue. So that's why often whenever the systems are tested, often they do in the control setting, at least just to gauge whether it's working as expected. So these are some language, or you can see the terms you hear in the evaluation, like analytics, evaluation, biases, crowdsourcing, ecological validity, expert review, criticism, field study. So anybody know what is the field study, by the way? What is the field study?
So going out in the field, evaluating what the user needs, taking into account their feedback or their views on the problem we have identified. Also, like we might consider something as a very big problem, but they might consider it, yeah, if it is solved, it's all right. But you need to focus on this problem. This is our priority. So
Right,
priority might change.
right, right. So if you see in this way, so ideally it is helping you, in learning directly from the target user, right? Directly hear from the requirement from the target. If you'd have been doing this course in offline setting, in person setting, so usually as part of the project, we also ask you to do some field study. But anyways, I mean, since it was not possible this year semester, you have been asked to do probably that field study with whatever the people you can access in your context. So one of the most important thing is that when you are doing the evaluation, right, you need to also consider about what are the participants' rights. And it is very important to get their consent, right? Or is it fine to not take their consent and do the evaluation? What do you think? What issue can arises if you do so?
So if I interview a person, I record their voice with their consent, but I don't take the consent for the video. And if I then publish my whole like the recording of the interview, then it might be like the user might say that they didn't give me the right to use their visual or their image. And so taking consent is like a part
Right.
of, a very big part of ethical nature of
Exactly.
your.
So ethical is definitely one way, and another is the legal as well, right? I mean, if you don't take the permission, the person can go and say, okay, so you haven't taken my permission, I'm going to sue you, and that is feasible and that is possible. Okay, so and how you can basically take this and basically just to make it more ethical point of view. So in every organization there is a body called institutional review board. So have you heard of this term, institution review board? Anyone? So in the short, it is called IRB. So often, at least even though if you haven't done, you will be keep hearing at least in the next 4 years, in some courses probably, have you taken IRB approval? Have you taken IRB approval? So that's approval is basically often the people mean that IRB is institutional review board. So whenever any human subject is involved in the experiment, whenever any human subject is involved in the experiment, as part of the ethical point of view, I mean, you need to take the permission, you need to take the approval, how you are going to, what all data you are going to collect, what and how you are going to use that data, how you are going to store the data, how you are going to maintain the privacy of the person, how you are going to maintain the, are you going to reveal the identity, and all those things you need to do. And it's basically it's a committee which reviews your application, accordingly it accept or reject your request and allow you to do the research. So
We
it's
have
so
we
yeah,
have it.
yeah, in IIIT as well we have IRB. In IRB as well we have institution review board. So whenever you are going to conduct an experiment which involve real humans, you need to take the approval before publishing ideally. So things to consider when you interpreting data. So reliability, right? So how the evaluation can help you in the reliability? Because does the method produce the same result on the separate occasion, right? So for example, you build a kind of you can say betting system. That betting system basically help you in determining, okay, so every time whatever the prediction it gives, I mean whoever the probably the team it says is going to win, it should work, right? So how you're going to confirm whether it's a reliable or not? So you will basically take 10 matches, and for all 10 matches what you'll do, okay, I'm going to say this team is going to win. If every time, again, so every time means every evaluation, every steps of the evaluation, if your model predicted correctly, it means it is reliable, right? It is producing the same thing every time in the same condition, right? It means it's reliable. Validity. So through the evaluation, you can make sure that whether it is intended to the measure or not. So it's more like whether whatever the claims you are making, they are valid or not, they are happening or not. Ecological validity. So suppose you change just environment, does by just changing the environment your results remain same or not, or whether it's valid or not. So for example, you said that, I mean, your mobile phone is going to work very well. So it should work whether it's a cold, whether it's a hot summer, whether it's a rain, every time it should work, right? Accordingly. So biases, are there any biases that distort the result? So because often suppose you are going to build a system, and that basically will do the basically the some prediction. Okay, so who's going to win? So for example, there's a match between India and Pakistan. If every user that you have, everyone is going to say, okay, India is going to win. So it's kind of biased, right? Because you don't have the all kind of the user who is probably sharing their the feedback, or not feedback, probably the view. Or I think that is not the best example, but you can more think of the during the election which is happening right now, right? if you are probably conducted the opinion poll and all those whatever the polls happen, right? If you only probably talk to the one kind of people, one set of people, or in that case it may be biased, right? So because the most of the people in the group are basically the from one party, and accordingly. So last part is it help you in checking whether the system that you have built, the product that you have built is scalable or not, whether it's generalizable or not. So for example, you build something for say basically a working professional. Is it also work well for the student? Is it also work well for probably the old age people and so on? So that is the generality that. So as part of the evaluation, we talk about different topics about this, like whether it's a reliable or not, whether it's a valid or not, whether it's a ecologically valid or not, whether it's a bias, whether it's a scope, it's the generalizable or not. Accordingly, these points and as part of the evaluation will help you to basically determine how robust your system is, how good your system is, whether it is doing the work expected or not, and accordingly all these results will help you in the successful completion of your project. So in summary, basically evaluation and design are very closely integrated. Some of the same data gathering methods are used in evaluation as for establishing requirement like identify users need, for example, observation, interviews, and questionnaire. Evaluation can be done probably in the control settings such as laboratory, less control setting like field setting, and probably even in some setting where even the user is not present. So this gives you a kind of overview of what evaluation is, what kind of evaluation can happen, and how the user is going to participate in the evaluation, and how in overall your product is going to get benefited by the evaluation. So with this note, this is the last slide probably. So different methods can be combined to give the different perspective for the evaluation. So you also need to take the permission of the whatever the participant in your survey or probably the evaluation. So participant need to make aware of their rights. So it's kind of take the consent. You need to take the IRB approval. It is important to not over generalize funding from an evaluation, because sometimes if the people over generalize. So for example, suppose just in the World Cup, right? In the World Cup, so far, India has won all the matches against the Pakistan. You cannot overgeneralize it in a sense. Okay, so any match which is going to happen in the future, Pakistan is going to lose, because that is over. So it's right that whatever the stats you have so far indicate that, I mean, all matches India has won, but nobody knows what will happen in the future. It depends on that day who played well. Right? So it's all about evaluation. And with this note, I end here, and I hope you have enjoyed the overall course. And all the best to you guys. And I hope at least you will have some good memories with this course. Some probably the bad memories as well. So for last 5 minutes, I want to probably hear you guys if you have any feedback which can further probably the help upcoming students in the next semester or your juniors and so on.
Sir, won't this subject be in the next semester?
नहीं, next semester में ये नहीं होगा, नहीं तो अगले साल होगा, तुम्हारे जो juniors आएंगे.
Okay.
So, I mean, this course is, I mean, mainly for first semester students, right? Why you want to take the same course again?
No, sir, not same course. Like I think he meant that like anything related to design. In,
there will be
for
a number of other
semester.
courses. Yeah, there will be definitely. We have a number of wonderful, I mean, the faculty, number of other amazing courses. I mean, that you will encounter over in the next 4 years. Yeah, but this is the, I mean, my interaction with you in this with this course. I will be teaching other courses, by the way, and probably you'll be taking other courses as well. But who knows? Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, most welcome, Rakesh. And any feedback that you want to share like what can be done in order to improve the class further for, I mean, because तुम्हारे साथ जो होना था अब तो हो गया, right? What else can be done for the new kids?
First of all, I'd like to say I really loved your teaching methodology and pedagogy. So, your method of teaching was amazing, especially the memes. Like we all have shared them on our Insta stories a lot. Like that used to be the highlight of Monday and Wednesday. Like, yeah, aaj kaun sa meme aayega? And so I think so the best thing you can do from here, just take the class offline. Okay, like I don't think there's anything else.
Okay, yeah, so definitely that will be resolved soon. I believe whenever you will take my next course, that will be definitely offline, and I hope we can continue the same rhythm and probably work together.
Sir, it's lovely experience with you. Like you teach so well and like in so like creative method. But sir, just I would like to give a small feedback. Like,
sure.
Sir, like a quiz should be on regular interval. Like it's in every subject. Before mid-sem, there is only one quiz, and like in the last week, like 2 or 3 quizzes. So it's all burden on us. So if it's pre-decided,
This is actually for every subject because last में आके ना load एकदम से इतना सारा आ गया. It's like हर रोज कुछ ना कुछ है अब.
But it's still
okay, well accepted. So I acknowledge this issue. So in fact, as per our current plan, I mean, we had 3 quiz after mid-sem, 2 quiz before. So in our case, I mean, instead of 2, we had 1. But anyways, I accept and probably agree with your observation, and definitely we'll improve this in the next courses. We'll try to basically, because I agree with you. I think it will be good actually if we have 3 quiz in the first half and probably 2 in the second, because you might have course load, you may have project load, you may have probably other loads. So I think it's a good suggestion, and that is something I will keep that in mind.
So also, sir, like about the enjoying part, sir, I think this was the most practical course in the sense that the best part of this course is that presentation part that we got on, like from January onwards when we got to know our groups. As we reached the end of January, we knew how to, like think about product and stuff, and it only like increased because there is certain view of looking at things. But after we like started taking classes in this course, we could realize like the products or the websites that we see every day, like what kind of a mentality people who develop those websites think about. Like why is this like consistency, for example, we never really appreciated the consistency in design across the platforms. But when we took this course, like consistency and accessibility of finding stuff on the website, you can really appreciate it, because when you try to build your own project, then you realize like accommodating everything in a very visual manner, it is quite difficult. And so appreciability, like it all increased. Basically it provided us a whole new perspective. And so from improving point of view, like only the practical part, like what we felt in our group also, like, and in general also in class, many people say that practical part is something that was lacking. Otherwise I think that will also change once the classes go offline. And
right.
Activities were also nicer. Like we looked at YouTube. I think we just got the grades back for the YouTube assignment, so we were again taking back the look at how we did the YouTube assignment. It was really nice to appreciate a platform that we use every day. So
yeah, sir, we really love that, sir. Like assignment part, it's like the application, like we are implementing something that we have learned. So it's very good, sir. Keep it up, sir.
So to be honest, we all like assignments more than quizzes. So sir, you can make assignments a larger part of evaluation, because it provides perspective, and this course especially is about practical knowledge that we gain. So I think assignments should be more like not detailed but more centered. Like this course should be assignment centered, so that we can learn about more applications of this.
Yeah, so again, I totally agree with you, and I am going to follow this definitely when the course is going to be offline. But you also have to probably consider the limitation of online classes. If
Yes.
it is assignment is online, I mean working from home, I don't have any control who is doing what, and that is something it's very difficult in the end. I mean, there might be probably the student who just copied will get more marks as compared to probably yeah, the person indeed put a lot of effort. So, but definitely I well taken this point as well, and definitely I will increase the assignment as well as, so that's what I said, right? So in the project, in all my courses, project weightage is 40%. I always keep it 40% project weightage, but we reduce assignment as well as the project to 10% or whatever, the just 5%, only because firstly the students are not able to work in a group, and secondly we don't have any control. I mean, we cannot provide the resources. Like as I said earlier, we had all the resources. We have 3D printing, we have a lot of things which you could have used, a lot of equipments we have at IIIT Delhi that you could have used in your projects. But since you're working from home, I mean, you don't have access to that. But yeah, so I will take in this point, and probably when we are going the next version of this course, we are going to increase all those weightage. Thanks for the feedback.
And so thanks a lot, sir. Like the lessons were really nice, and the course textbook, I think it is also like very activity based, no? So it was also quite interactive reading. Like it was quite different. Like I can't judge because I have not read many college level books right now, so I don't know all of them are like that. But the Roger book that we read, like very interactive and activities you can visualize. So really nice to read such books.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I really want to thanks all my TAs. They definitely put much efforts to the tutorials, and as you also appreciated, like whatever the assignment and YouTube tutorial they have given, I mean, that is also good. So they indeed put, I know, I mean, they indeed put much efforts. Again, along with whatever they're also taking, they're also students like you, right? They're also taking their courses, they're also doing their assignments, their courses, projects, everything. So whatever they are doing with you, it's kind of additional task for them, and they have indeed done a great job, I believe. And I hope, yeah, so overall experience for you guys were, I mean, as good as we could have made in the given constraint, right? So anyone else want to share your probably some experience, something probably you want to share?
Hey, probably we should develop a virtual reality class or something by the next semester. Like, I mean, it's like topic gets kind of probably only enjoying HCI because of this, because it's more practical, and we want more practical subjects like HCI.
Right. Okay, Gurmax, you want to say something? Okay. Okay, anyone else? If not, then anyone else want to share something? Shreya, you want to say something?
Sir, just like I think Bhagesh said that the tutorial activities were really nice. Like when I did them, I didn't know that I could think a certain way, but once I did it, it's really nice.
Okay.
And even RTA was really nice. So I think that really helped us in the online environment, because we couldn't really see or interact as well as with RTA.
Great. So if I ask you, what one thing you learned probably the best, the one thing you want to take away with you as part of this course?
So I'd say it is a new perspective on all products around us. Like before this course, I never really saw all these products around me with like this critical eye of how everything was made and how much thought was put into everything, from like a little button, like the whole interface.
Yes.
And like after doing this
Sir,
course,
yes,
I have
sir.
a new perspective. That is something I want to take away. And so
So
I
I
thank you
put
for that.
the metro station the other day, and there was a really bad design. So whoever I was with, I started telling them how that is a terrible design.
Exactly.
And they looked very dumbfounded. What is she saying? But then I explained them. So I think those small things, even like a switch, that's what we got out of the tutorial a lot, I think. That
Wonderful.
we had to do these random things with register who nobody thinks about. So that was great.
Yeah, Bhagesh, you want to say something? What is the one thing?
Taking away one thing will be quite a handful task because sir, we learned like many things in this course. Like group activity wise, we learned how to perform well in a group, how to overcome, like we had some timing constraints, but so that teamwork that we learned in this course, That was very essential. Then thinking about design, so everybody said like looking critical thinking is something that was really developed in this course here, because we are learning IP now. So in IP also we were making menus, I think for one of the assignments. So in order to prompt the user, where should I put that condition of saying that this is the input is wrong, so that user does not need to go through the entire process. So those kind of things, like you start thinking about it, and that thinking only is enough. Like as a course outcome, I think it sums up everything. Like that critical thinking spark will only grow from this point, it will never get diminished. So like that is something that really needs to appreciate it, because it's a very unique course. In my time at NHUT, I was not able to take such courses. I was taking physics and all. So stuff like this that I take, I really enjoy learning application based things, because I'm not that of a theoretical person. So I really enjoyed this part.
Wonderful. Good to hear that, Bhagesh and Shreya, Ronit, Gurmehak. Thanks about that. Anyone else want to share something?
सर आपके कोर्सेज नेक्स्ट ईयर में भी होंगे?
यार मतलब हमें तो हर सेमेस्टर में पढ़ाना पड़ता है. So in the next semester I will be teaching information retrieval, and you won't be able to take it because that is only for third year onwards. So probably you need to wait for some time.
तो 2 साल वेट करना पड़ेगा आपसे भरने के लिए अब?
नहीं, पढ़ने के लिए करना पड़ेगा, but you can work with me anytime, right? So I think that's a good time. I think I can show you something.
Sir, one more point, sir. I would like to give a shout out to Tharun sir and Riya ma'am. Like tutorial point of view, like
yeah,
they used to take a lot of time to explain every doubt. Even like last tutorial, I think they stayed back with me and explained me what was lacking behind. So like they really put in a lot of effort.
Yeah, I know. I mean, all the TAs had put wonderful efforts. I'm very, very thankful to them. That's why I kept saying that. I mean, I couldn't have probably run this course hopefully so well without their help. They have done a wonderful job. So regarding working with me, I mean, yeah. So regarding coursework, I mean, whenever the course is there, you are allowed, you are eligible, you can take it. But you can work with me, right? I mean, number of students work with me. Have you visited Midas website, by the way, anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. If you go to the Midas website, you see, I mean, all the kind of students we have. In fact, we have PhD student, we have master student, we have undergrad students, even the students from first year, second year. It's never doesn't as right now. I mean, we have number of students, right? I mean, so all these probably many old students. The website is not updated. This list is very, very long. And yeah, so you do not need to wait for the course. I mean, because there at IIIT Delhi, there are several ways you can work with the faculty. So like in this case, I have a lab here. I don't know if you heard of the Midas. So if you see, I mean, so we do a number of interesting works, and that you can basically work. Like right now we have opened the application for summer internship, right? So we are taking students from different places. So like if you see, we opened the internship application. If you see here, we have received number of basically.
Are you sharing the screen?
So if you see here, I mean, all the students who have applied, you'll see such a good number of, I mean, more than 2,000 students has applied. So anyways, I mean, that's all just to give, I mean, you are most welcome to work with us in several capacity. So we have even students from not only for IIIT Delhi, but from other institution as well, DTU, NSIT and other places. So you can most welcome to work with us as part of your BTech thesis, as part of your independent studies, as part of your independent project, non-credit as well. I mean, you can work with me and my lab. Anything else? Anyone? Saurabh, you want to say something?
Yes, sir. Sir, I really enjoyed the course, and I will say that this is the only course that I'm gonna miss. Like this is the course that I really loved, and it is only that I will miss in this semester.
Thank you so much for your love, and I will also basically miss you all guys a lot. I mean, I really enjoyed this course thoroughly and interaction with you guys, and there will be probably the more occasions and when we can work. So yeah, so let's be in touch, and I'm looking forward to meet you all in person as well. Despite the course is over, when the campus is open, we can meet sometime over the tea, coffee, whatever, samosa, chai. I mean, anyways, I mean, you guys will be coming to me because I'm also the faculty coordinator for food in campus. So you will come to me complaining, okay, so this food is not good, and so we need to work together there as well in order to improve.
Sir, to be honest, like I was looking forward to take this course from you. Actually, my sister applied in your internship, I think last year. I think AI for social benefit was cancelled, I think, no, last year's internship program.
No, it was not cancelled. I mean, we taken at least 10 to 15 students last summer. We have, but anyways, I mean, you can contact me after this. We can see what can be done.
Yeah, so she told me like she was following like Midas and work like before I got into the college. So she had applied there. So she told me that I applied. When I told her no that I what is this course and she asked me the instructor name, she like, immediately popped off like I had applied for this internship.
Okay. Yeah. So okay. Anyways, let me know what I will be happy to help you or your sister, whatever.
So actually, one thing I wanted to add.
Yes.
So I love the way the course was designed. Like how we started from the design principle, then we went to the double diamond, and then we saw the users and the stakeholders' point of view, that what do they think and all of that. And then we went to the cognitive aspect, then the emotional aspect of the design of a product, and then the social interaction, that how we are going to take the surveys, take the interviews, and actually that also those ethics too, actually, which I think are going to be very helpful for me in the future. And also like how we ended up with these, with actually making those prototype, be it the low fidelity one or the high fidelity one, and how to make them like using Arduino or the other softwares. I think so. It was a very, in my opinion, it was a very well thought out course structure, and which I definitely loved and enjoyed a lot. And so I would like to thank you for such a wonderful classes that that you gave us, the way you delivered, the way you engaged the class, the way you made them interesting by definitely introducing the memes and the funny scenes from the movie, that I actually liked a lot. And definitely, like others too said, that this course is definitely going to go deep down in the memory, and definitely would love to work with you in the future. And thank you for that. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, most welcome. And I'm also looking forward.
Also, sir, thank you for being so patient, sir. Because
I think this course was the one that spoke to us students the most.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I agree.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good to hear that. And I will also try to keep this up so that, anyways, I mean, so any plans? I mean, you guys visiting campus? I mean, let me know if hopefully after exam, in case.
Yes, sir. After mid-sem on 17, 18, like.
हम सोच रहे हैं कि 15 को जब सबमिट करेंगे तब आ जाएंगे कॉलेज ही 15 we will submit it in college only, we'll turn in our project in college,
but we have our demos now. On 16 we have our demos, I think.
No, your first priority should be complete all the assignments, your project and everything well. Once you're free, then most welcome to visit here. Take the have you visited, by the way, anyone visited campus so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In library and also
okay. So yeah, so we can so those who haven't come, so most welcome. And those who already came, it's good. You can anyways, I mean, we are soon you will be using a number of system which my lab is building. So be it like for hostel booking, be it like food booking, be it like any classroom booking, sports facility booking. So number of students working with us, we are working closely with Office of Student Affairs, and we will be using all those systems soon. And again, so that's not the end of that. There will be many other things that we have to build, and you guys are most welcome. While start using, probably you may also come up with more improvement over this, and we can do so together.
Sir, I think one hostel, like I think for one system for girls hostel was built by Yukti, like our senior, I think in third year CSAM. So that was also built by Midas only.
No, so that is the old one hostel app that we had. So there was a lot of, I mean, that definitely was a good one, but there are some limitation issues there. So now we are creating another one. So with the Office of Student Affairs, so that will have all app related to the students. So be it like club booking, part of booking, I mean, be it like cultural fest, be it like technical fest, everything will be go through that.
And sir, one thing
Good
that
initiative, sir.
at times like you thought no, the attendance in class is less in class. So like one thing we realized halfway through the course, this course was like for the people who took interest in design aspect. Like not everybody is a design person. So at times like you got like people only come in for quiz. So like it is like it's a part of human nature, but at the same time you must have realized that this course is for those who take interest in design, like who are intrigued by design.
Right.
So the teaching from your side was always at the top notch. It was only the effort that everybody thinks about design or not that motivates them to take the class or not.
I mean, that part I'm not much worry about, because that is the case with all courses, right? Because there are some students who really want to learn. I mean, I'm lucky that I still had a good number of students who are attending the class, participating in the class, learning from the class. So always there are a number of students, in fact, majority of the students who only bother about what are the marks or grade they are going to have. That's why they come for the quiz exam and there's nothing wrong with that. They may have some other priorities. They may have probably some other goals. So, I mean, it's fine. But anyways, it's always good to have such a great live class where the people are interacting, people are working together in a team. And so that's great to have. That's great to have.
Sir, can you please check your mail? I have mailed you something.
Sorry, Gurmeet, what did you say?
Sir, whenever you get time, sir, please check your email.
ठीक है, I will do. So have you sent now today?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
ठीक, I will do. Anything else?
So I wanted to add one more thing. I would definitely like to give a shout out to Anish sir and Somam sir for the wonderful tutorial that they delivered. And the patience that they had while giving the tutorial, especially Anish sir, like he used to explain one thing again and again and without getting irritated or this, and he used to make it so interactive and so engaging. And also the way he explained the thing made the things more interesting and definitely cleared our doubts. And also, sir, like someone mentioned in the chat, I think it was Pranay Gupta, like he said the WhatsApp assignment that we were told to, that we had to analyze the WhatsApp platform. I think so that thing actually gave that gave me the view of critical thinking of analyzing something which I'm using. And definitely the mindset that the designers have or they implement while making these websites, I think I got a bit of flavor of that too, and it was really helpful. Like seeing the design, like now if I'm visiting a new website, I actually look at the consistency things that they have, like have they implement this, or this is not a good design, or they should have done this. So actually that is something which goes on my mind. And actually I believe that this is a combination of the ICI lectures and the ICI tutorial that make this one of the most interesting courses which I've taken this year. So and again, so thanks a lot for that.
Wonderful. So anyways, I mean, as the course title is Introduction to SCI. So this is just introduction, right? Abhi picture to baki hai, right? You'll see the picture. You'll see a number of courses where you will apply all those introduction, whatever you've learned. And I'm sure, I mean, you're going to excel in whatever the course you are going to have, and you'll get it, everything.
Sir, just a small request, sir. Would you mind if we all could just turn on our webcams and take a Zoom selfie, sort of?
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, why not? That would be great, in fact. And I think we should have done in the before the course, right? Before the lecture today, so that all the students were there. But anyways, it's never too late. And thank you so much for that. Thanks. It's a good initiative. Why not?
Even if you can please turn on your cameras.
So everyone have to say paneer or cheese or whatever.
Whatever you like.
We can say HCIOP.
Yeah, that's better, right? Okay, great.
Thank you, sir.
So thanks everyone, and Thanks again for all your patience, all your staying so late. I mean, because I believe in all my courses, despite it's 1.5 hour, always it go 1 hour, 45 minutes and so. But I think it's worth staying, and at least we had very good memories across. And so thanks to everyone again, and all the best, and let's keep in touch, and wish you all the best. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir.
Thanks a
Thank you.
lot, sir.